something out. Anyways, for now, we have got a proper overlay. I just need to very quickly relocate the logo up in the top right to kind of fix from the fact that we didn't have a proper overlay before. And I think we can now go and start up some casting. Alright, let's do this then. Let's actually start to the upper right as we have Dark, who's going to be opening fairly aggressively. An early gas pool coming down as he sets up Dark, the purple Zerg, to the top right hand side of Proxima Station, game number 1 of this best of 3 quarterfinal match. And down to the bottom left hand side, the blue Zerg player, give it up if you're cheering on soO. We set up into this and look to see what's going to be happening over the next few moments. There's a drone coming down to the low ground. We'll build up a hatchery here and just get that set up and ready to go. So hatchery coming on down, and the natural expansion. And you'll be seeing a couple more drones just on the way from both players at this point. So drones on the way up. You're going to see this overload coming down as well from Dark. And that's about a pop here. And as we just see that overload coming out and looking to see what is going to happen next. An extractor coming down from soO as well over in this main base. Spawning pool now also. And let's just see what's going to happen in this ZvZ. Let's see a queen coming down in the main base and a link speed starting on up. Dark, I mean, obviously continuing to mine gas means he's probably going to drop the Bane nest as well, unless it's a Rotron, which would be a little bit weird in the ZvZ for an early Rotron like that, but especially with link speed 2, so more likely going to be a Bane nest, and there it is coming on down. So Dark with a lot of link Bane pressure early. soO expands out front as well, and obviously we saw that before. We didn't really talk about it, and it is important because it means that it is a lot easier for Dark to attack this location rather than having to attack the in-base expansion, which would mean that to attack he has to come up this very narrow ramp to begin with anyways. So it's going to be a nice advantage that Dark can work with right now, just keeping his links banking up at home. It's all about the surprise factor for Dark, and it works on a map like this because as soO scouts in, he sees no expansion here, but that's normal because, you know, there's an in-base expansion. There's no way for soO to tell early in the game from hatchery timings whether his opponent is being super aggressive or not. So this is really, really cute. As Dark now going to send a few Zerglings out, and we'll try and just make this look very standard. It's all about the mind games right now, the way they're setting up into this. As you see, a couple of overlords continuing up towards the top right-hand side. There's some more Zerglings coming out, 8 more buildings still, and they're going to be starting to head down to the bottom left very, very shortly. So here we go, Dark getting this set up and getting ready to run on through, and look to see if he can pick up some damage here in the next few moments. So I mean, obviously he's going to hope to do quite a bit of damage. He's 9 workers down a hatchery as well. It's important he does something here as link speed, Bane nest, both about halfway done out of soO. But obviously not ready right away as we do see queens on the ramp. They're going to be able to block, and immediately Dark sees that. He's just going to come down to the natural expansion and start working his way through this. So he's going to try and get rid of the natural. Banes are here ready to help out if necessary. I don't think they're really going to be necessary. I don't think soO is going to try and contest this position right now. As you see Ling's taking a little bit more damage then. They will go down in a moment or so. There we go. Ling's drop. And that hatchery gets taken down too. As the Lings and Banes from Dark just going to be pulling back a little bit back towards the center of the map. Ruden's now going to pop and disappear. As you see soO trying to come down the ramp with this queen. More Lings coming down, but it's a good position actually from Dark. He has a good concave on this, so you see 2 Banes coming in from soO. It's Banes against Banes. Actually, it's really nice Bane hits from Dark. He gets rid of the Banes of soO plus the Zerglings, and that's going to be 2 dead queens. That's going to be GG. Dark picks up game number 1 in the ZvZ. Aggressive, fast-paced, very, very quick play. Fast-paced as ZvZ as last time. Then maybe we can have a little bit of a chat about what's up in your guys' lives. But for now, we better start introducing these players just in case we start seeing that early gas pool once again. That's to the bottom left-hand side of the map. It is going to be the red Zerg player. Give it up if you're cheering on soO. Oops. Yeah, that happened. That was me pressing the print screen button instead of the insert button to rotate the screen. That's what the sudden stuttering was. Do apologize. Alright, bottom right hand side is just going to be the blue Zerg player. It is going to be Dark in the lower right hand side of the map. So stand up into this, let's see what's going to happen as we have an overlord moving in towards the upper right hand side of the map. And looking to see what's up, what's going on. Hatchery first from both is going to be the startup here though, so well, again, a lot more kind of slow paced than the last game. Going to be a much calmer way to set things up from both players in the early moments. This is going to be nice. Going to get to see a bit more kind of mid-game focus ZvZ, I suppose, which is always a big positive. Again, guys, sorry for the lack of bracket in the chat. The bot is off to help with CPU issues, because this is not my new nice streaming PC, which actually works now, even if the internet at the office does not. It is incredible, isn't it? You know, I mean, I've heard of bad luck, and I tend to think I'm a pretty... I wouldn't say I'm lucky, but I wouldn't say I'm unlucky, you know? But man, like, to go from having like 4 or 5 different hardware technical issues with the actual computer, and then to come out of that, and to finally fix all of those, to then just have massive issues with the internet, like, as soon as we fix the technical, it is literally incredible. I have to say it out loud a few more times, because I just have to try and convince myself it's actually happened, that this isn't just a nightmare. Because it's just so unbelievable, the timing of it all. It's really quite ridiculous, honestly. Anyways, it's okay. We've got ourselves some StarCraft right now, and that's what's important at the moment, as we do see. Well, early on here, Overlord's just moving on out from both players. Obviously, soO actually sent his first Overlord in the correct direction. It's kind of a, I mean, it's just a bit of a coin flip, but generally players do send their Overlord towards the base which has their natural expansion closer to them first, if that makes sense. So Dark will send his north, because that Overlord will reach this natural expansion before the main, and soO sends his to the east, because he would reach this natural expansion before the main. And the natural expansion is kind of what you want to see as soon as possible, because it does give you an idea as to, you know, if there is a hatchery down or not, rather than going in towards the main where you don't actually want to fly too much further in of the Overlord anyways, because then you're probably going to get it shot down. So better to send the Overlord in towards that natural expansion early nonetheless. As we're going to be seeing the couple of Lings just moving around. Third hatchery comes down from soO. And I guess we're going to be seeing, again, Ling Speed and Bane Nest coming up from both players. So Dark shouldn't be too much further behind in the third hatch. And in fact, there it is right now. Lots of people cheering on soO in the chat, actually. Dinopi cheering on soO. 47ers says Bjorn. I'm sure you'll get to see a little bit of Bjorn later. He's playing live right now in the round of 8. I think that's on TakeTV if you guys want to go check out some Bjorn action from the Olimoleague, as it is being covered in so many different languages. I think we've got, if I'm not mistaken, Korean cast obviously with Crank. We've got German cast. We've got French cast from O Gaming. We've got me, the English cast, and I believe we've also got a Chinese cast today. So yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. Always nice to see all the StarCraft being broadcast in multiple languages from around the world. As you do see, just Lings chasing each other right now, and I guess the action's starting to heat up a little bit here, with Dark making a couple of aggressively placed Banelings. We'll start to send those forwards, hit 4 or 5 Lings initially with the first Bane. That's definitely a great start. 2 Banes from soO looking to see what they can do as well, and both players just skirmishing right now around the center, around the bottom side, looking to see what direction they can go in to see what will happen. Rotoran dropping down here in the back from soO, and that's about halfway done here. Creep Tumor coming out at the front as well. Obviously for soO at the moment, he's just looking to connect up his creep spread, and he's going into that Rotoran, so he's really wanting to kind of further his tech here, something we don't see from Dark. And again, so far Dark just taking a moment or two to kind of do bits and bits, you know, just taking a moment or two extra than soO to do these little bits and pieces. For example, his third base came down just that slight bit later. Just, you know, very slight differences, but overall it's still fairly even with the work count being similar. And soO just started up a couple of roaches right now, which will give him a slight little kind of army supply lead here at the moment. That said, actually Dark is down quite heavily on gas counts, so he does start, but he has started up a lair, I suppose, which obviously eats into that a little bit. But it might come in to kind of affect him. He hasn't made any roaches at all, and he's even on gas, with both players having invested into 100 gas upgrade, you know, either with the lair or the +1. So yeah, that's interesting. Dark will just be a few roaches behind here overall, I think. As you see, coming over to the left-hand side, a few Zerglings, well, they're going to find themselves a Creep Tumor quite quickly, and they'll just die for a drone or two, just get what they can, but they don't get anything. As it's a nice defense from soO, very quick to respond, going into position, and going from there. Now, with +1 on the way up from both players, we see the lairs on the way down, and something that's unfortunate for soO is that his lair is not really going to line up for roach speed with the +1 upgrade. In fact, his lair is very late for that, so while Dark is going to have roach speed and +1, soO will just have the +1 upgrade, so despite having a small advantage in the timing of that, I think it's fairly unlikely that we're really going to see soO be aggressive with the +1. Now that said, it is horizontal spawns, which means that it is fairly short rush distance, and so if soO really wants to, he probably could try and attack with the +1 upgrade advantage. But it's not going to be a crisp, strong timing like we're so often seen with the ZvZ when this is the case, so he's going to have to be, you know, really thinking if that's what he wants to do. Still not starting roach speed, making up a few more drones. It does look as though he's just making sure he's got enough roaches defensively, make sure he's not going to die to anything, and just making sure he's still building his economy as well. Looks like he's just going into all of that rather than saying, right, time to attack, time to kill you, trying to try and really end this game here in game number 2 and to tie things up. Lolings in the center of the map and still looking to see what's going on, looking to see where they can go. Coming around the bottom side and just looking to see what's happening. And Overseer here on the hold position is actually getting shot down by Queens, and it will go down, I think. There we go, Overseer shot down. It's a little bit unfortunate for soO. Overseer always nice to have a little bit faster and just able to keep that information as well. A couple of changes now and then, and of course, sometimes you never know when that Contaminate comes into play and has a big role to play in terms of creating upgrade differences and time and windows. Zerglings moving around the right hand side soon, not sure where exactly he wants to go just yet with these Zerglings. We see actually a lot of Roach Ravage from Dark coming through the south side. Now he does have Roach Speed, which is kind of the only difference for him compared to what soO has. soO has a lot of Roaches out of position at the moment. If he keeps them there, he might be in a little bit of a tough position. He does start to pull them in position on the high ground though. Here we go, Dark's going to start pushing up this ramp. He uses the Corrosive Bow to try and push these units back a little bit. Is this going to work out? Well, I think soO just has a little bit too much, honestly. Even if these Corrosive Bows coming down, soO, he still steps forwards, and he's able to keep on fighting here quite convincingly against the army of Dark. Upgrades are dead even, and now soO has his own Roach Speed as well, so now he can start pushing forwards and continue to chase down these Ravagers and Roaches. However, now Dark have a few more units, and I like that, pulling a few all the way down the south before coming in to engage, really allowing him to wrap around this army. soO's just a little bit too quick in pulling away, though, to allow that to really do too much damage. And so both players end up disengaging. No player really losing all too much on either side. But look at that. +2 missile attack upgrade from soO is now halfway done. He did not skip out on that. He went straight on into it. Whereas from Dark, he's only just now starting his +2 missile upgrade. So real differences here between the players. And Dark, who tried to go for a bit of aggressive attack despite being a bit behind, well, he sort of paid for that right there. It did not work out too well for him. So you're going to take the opportunity to send some Zerglings around the main bit, around the top side of the map. So they're going to send them units around the top side of the map and just try and maybe run on by in towards the mineral line, get a couple of drone kills, maybe pick off a Queen, and a little bit more as well, as this Overseer from Dark still moving around looking to see what else is happening. It's still really not too much. There's 10 more Roaches coming up from soO, another Ravager, 6 more Roaches coming in from Dark. And look at this though, soO is going to move on forwards right here. Don't think he wants to attack just yet. I think he'll wait for the +2. He knows it's close. He probably knows that if Dark was trying to be aggressive like he was, that he probably didn't start his upgrade for a little bit longer as well. Because if you want him to attack, if you really want to make the most of that attack, you're going to bypass the upgrade to make as many Roaches as possible to go in and attack with that. So I think soO will recognize that he's probably got a bit of an advantage, and well, this would be good. 5 seconds away from that upgrade finishing. We see Biles from both players currently pushing each other back, and well, here we go. So you're going to try and fight in once again. This time the split away is not to back away, but rather just to make sure you can re-engage very quickly or keep on engaging. Lots of Biles from either player right now, as we do see Lings in the main base too. They're starting to pick away at quite a few of these drones. Also across the map, the Roaches from Dark doing damage. So both players around the map currently looking to see what's up, looking to see what's happening, and looking to see if they can get more damage done. As we see Roaches, Ravagers from soO coming in and trying to continue fighting, and he is pushing forwards now, making a lot of progress. That upgrade really helping him out as he re-engages. Look at the concave from soO as well. A few more Corrosive Bows dropping, and he does stand in a few of those. Also the hatchery now kind of working against him as he moves a bit further forwards. You see still more Corrosive Bows. He gets that hatchery load. Nice re-engagement there as a few units from Dark were just a little bit further away, and soO continuing to fight this out. Both players ended up losing about 10 workers, so the harassment on either side was pretty even, but soO's going to get shut down here. The Roaches and Ravagers are pushed away, and Dark takes a 30 supply lead. What a defense by Dark, and all without that +2 upgrade, which is now just finished, which means that his counterattack, really, there's nothing to stop him. You know, he's got everything that soO has and more in that army supply. He's actually up 12 workers as well, and Dark in a position in this game which I wouldn't say was necessarily very far behind. I wouldn't say it was very difficult to come back from that position, but it was not exactly the best of places for him to be in. He's completely turned this around now, and he's making this really, well, he's really making a good case for himself at this point, as we see a Spire on the way up here from Dark as well. So Spire about 25-30% of the way done. Roaches and Ravagers from soO too, setting up and just joining out the front of this natural expansion and the third base. Just looking to see what's happening as this Queen comes in, starts pushing that Overseer away over to the right hand side. So Overseer again pushed away right now, and a couple more Corrosive Bows going down. Spire is just about coming up to being about 50, 60, 70% of the way done. I mean, Dark, it's a transition which isn't really necessary at this point, but it's probably going to win him the game anyways, because it's just something that's so hard for soO to deal with when he's already playing from behind. He can't afford to randomly invest into kind of defensive Hydras just in case, or a Hydra Den even. He needs to make as many units as possible, because if Dark is spamming Roaches right now, soO would not have enough to hold on. Instead, Dark saves up his money, he'll spend it on mutas, and then he'll fly on in and be like, what's up, bruh? You know, so he's going to be like, well, you know, he's going to try and cross the ball around, and he's going to realize it's not going to work, he's going to be like, GG. Maybe he's got some spores. Well, no, he doesn't. He doesn't even have queens, really. How many queens has he got? Only 2? There's no anti-air on this map at all. There's no anti-air on this map at all. And 11 mutas are built, and 15 roaches as well. So it's not all about mutas. You're going to make some roaches too, and the reason for that probably is to just help defend on the ground against this incoming attack from soO. As here we go. First mutas move forwards, and they'll start targeting down those Ravagers. No armor upgrade, and obviously no ability to really shoot back at all. Means that the Ravagers are a good target. Get rid of those, the corrosive bars disappear. That means your roaches on the ground are just so much more effective as well. As we just see these mutas and roaches from Dark joining up together, the combo is just too much, and soO's army is not going to last very long at all. GG! Dark will move on through to the round of 4 here today in Olimoleague 81, and it's a pretty solid 2-0 for soO. Maybe a bit